Hey, it's old D-Dom here, and I do this all the time. I never end up posting it. I'd probably be better off talking live, maybe some responses or something, but I don't know. It's kind of a tangent. It's a rant. It's nothing. I mean, I want to enlighten people, but at the same time, in my situation and my financial status, I'm not wearing gold and stuff. And in America, you got a real hard time if you're trying to get someone to listen to you or hear you out, especially if you're not on a certain financial pedestal, so to speak. You're not what everyone else is after, so why listen to them, right? But I'm going to give you some reasons why. If you bear with me, probably will be a 15-minute video. I hope you got that much time. I'll try to keep it simple, short and as simple as I can. And I'm probably going to press some buttons for some people and stuff like that, and you're going to want to hate, and you're welcome to. Hopefully it's constructive criticism. That would be nice. But if not, I don't mind being called a piece of shit and everything. That's cool. I'm used to it. Anyway, some of the reasons I think people should kind of hear me out and stuff is because, like most of you, y'all love your vets and everything. So I am one, and would have probably went a lot further in the military had I not gotten screwed by, Kentucky's finest, in a sense. And anywho, basically, I joined the Army, and it's not all about the Army, but some of my reasoning for it is. And I went through a lot of trial and tribulation about my military career. I actually had a little argument with some of my nephews, and it started off over something really petty. And then, like they started, nothing to do with the Army whatsoever, but it seemed like they brought it up, And it was funny because I'm living with Mexicans on a farm, and yet I get a little bent out of shape about having to get a ride back with them or something like that. And they're like, yeah, we didn't go to the Army, so we ain't good as you. Boop, boop, boop. And it really took me off guard, and a lot more nonsense than that was expelled towards me. I don't know exactly why, from my family, of all people. Just kind of made me feel weird about my service and stuff. So I had to dig deep. Long after I got out, I had to dig real deep in myself and find out reasons why I joined and make sure that they were genuine as I perceived them at the time. Well, I found out they were more genuine. For example, I'm in automotive technology in high school. I see the Twin Towers getting bombed on television, and I stood up. I was the only one in the classroom who stood up. Now, I'm not trying to take anything away from anyone else. Other people might have been better family men. Other people might have been better at medicine. I was just kind of let's say, being the protector of the village. Not trying to toot my own horn, like I said. I'm sitting here reading Don't Kill Myself books. No, I wasn't really, but, beside myself and digging deep to find out years later why my family didn't see my military career as such a genuine effort. In other words, they kind of saw it, they kind of trashed it, so to speak. So I'm thinking about when I stood up in this classroom and the reasons I joined and everything, making sure they were all pretty legit and just good-hearted, and they weren't. I stood up during the Twin Towers because, of course, our teacher turned it on at the time, and it was pretty much live, and those Twin Towers were getting bombed. And I stood up, and what I was doing is subconsciously, I was putting myself in between danger and the people I loved, family, friends. Yeah, that's what I was doing. And I hope that's why a lot of you people respect your veterans these days. Furthermore, so I kind of learned that little lesson there, and then I learned another lesson, and a big one, a very important one, because I get really tired of not tired, so to speak, but I really wish that, I just wish addicts and stuff that are people who are recovering had a little different, I'm going to say training, because, well, I'm not saying that it's not working. I don't really think it is, though, because, well, they're telling you, oh, don't go around your old buddies and yada, 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 because, you know, you'll just go, they wasn't your friends, boop, boop, boop. But here we are, we got you in a room full of people who have the exact same problem with you. They're going to be your friends now. So they're going to be somebody you can relapse with, because you're always going to be an addict. I just think that's kind of silly. And I know that probably pushed some buttons. Am I an addict? I don't really think so, because I've never had a withdrawal. And that's not really what the point of today is. I kind of got off there a little bit. Please forgive me if, you know, I offended you in your recovery and everything. That's not what I was getting at. What I'm getting at is, and let me go, I was just getting at the way the government is playing chess with us, not checkers. And one more thing, you're a product of your environment. And the reason I learned this, and the reason that I know it's important, is because I kicked indoors in Iraq, okay? And most of the time, your Al-Qaeda or your Taliban or whoever, whatever we called them at the time, they didn't give a fuck if they had a door. They had someone guarding the ones that were sleeping, like a military type, militia type rebellion would, you know? So if I kicked in a door, the chances were that the people that were inside or away at work or whatever have you, in the green zone, you know, they had no way to go home and lock their door. So now, a Taliban, or a gang, let's call them a gang a little bit. A gang comes in because they can't lock their door now. It's all fucked up and shit. Because I kicked it in and tore the fucking thing off the hinges. And a lieutenant hit me to that. He wasn't really respected, so, you know, it was kind of like, I blew him off for a minute, but then I'm like, wait a minute, he's right. Time out, you know. He said, man, you're kicking in these people's doors and they might even open them. You know, you got to knock first, because I got, you know, young and dumb, got excited. Now, the captain and them didn't care, because we were guarding the BOP. We were guarding the international airport over there, so it was pretty important that we checked the houses, you know. Whether they opened that fucking door or not, we was coming in. Here we are. What's up? You ain't going to shoot no planes down. You usually allowed one weapon, one magazine, but long story short, that was to defend yourself, and they was definitely going to have to do it because they couldn't come in and lock their door. I got Bell's palsy, so you might hear me lisp and stuff, but it's not really that bad. It's contagious, though. You might get it through the phone. No, I'm just joking. So, basically, the product of their environment. So they come home, they're good people, they was at work or they were already in there. Now, at nighttime, when we're not patrolling and stuff, well, here comes Taliban or gangsters, and they're like, guess what, you know? And they're smacking mom and gramps around, and they're like, you're going to be you're joining with us. And then, eventually, they're probably like, yeah, if them son of a bitches hadn't kicked in the damn door, I wouldn't even be in this situation, so fuck them. Let's go. Taliban. And so, you know, product of their environment. We created an environment that wasn't sufficient enough for them not to become, that was growing out Taliban, whatever, gangsters. You know, real gangsters. Gangsters shooting at the U.S. Army, not beating up some little dude on the side of the road because he owes you a little dope money. So, anyways, gangsters that would come out freaking sliding with an RPG on their, you know, gangsters. So, these kind of experiences in my life lead me kind of wanting to keep being that guy that was trying to shelter my peoples from the danger. I'm wanting to kind of teach you a little bit or tell you about what I think's true and stuff. Because when I got home from Iraq, my mom died. 3 days later, I was kind of a little lied to about this and that, and I went back, and I was talked to real nonsense-like, and thank God I took my nods with me, because when I got back, I was a filler in that unit because I volunteered to go. I could kind of sense that my fam wasn't going to help me out and get the wheels rolling on the college and the GI Bill, keep the momentum for me. So I volunteered to get some money built up and try to go to college. Well, Mom died, and I was in love, and I was dumb and young, and all that whoop whoop, and I didn't really have a whole lot of guidance. So basically, you know, all that kind of stuff. Even though there's a lot of military in there, these experiences really I feel like at a point in time in my life, I finally said, hey, you know, let's quit. Dom, you gotta quit just doing anything for money, dude. You went over there and you fucked some shit up, and you're a fucking real badass. And I mean, for real, I was. Like, I was told, you just need to get in movies and do your own stunts after this. I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I guess I am, but I'm also, remember, I'm trying to tell you people why I think you should give me a shot here. Now, hear me out. So anyways, I think I started kind of looking for truth instead of dollar. And because, you know, I was doing bad shit for money from 18. I was selling things I shouldn't have been selling, doing things I shouldn't have been doing for money. And, you know, volunteered to kill for money and then come home and got a taste of my own medicine. I guess karma, if you will. I don't really look at it like that, but because everybody's going to watch their parents die. And I don't really believe in karma to the fullest extent, at least not that it all happens here. But, and I wasn't told. I've been constantly told by other people. Some of them not from this country, that I'm here for a real fucking reason. Not Army related at the time either. So, anyways, I'm probably not, you know. But, anyways, I just want to say, this Zuckerberg thing, I posted a video, a little violent, because I know poverty as well. Been in out homeless shelters and stuff due to some unfortunate circumstances with the top 5 most corrupt justice system in the country, good old Kentucky. Just to let you know, according to Harvard. And that's another thing I'm going to be getting at. See, Zuckerberg, there's a movie made about Facebook. And I watched it several times, found it kind of interesting, entertaining. I like movies a little bit more than TV shows, especially these modern TV shows. They seem to have a lesson with them more often instead of a program. If you ever noticed, a show is considered a program. So, a movie, I think it displays a little bit of truth with a little bit of bullshit. And the Zuckerberg thing, well, it's portrayed him like he was some kind of pimp. Did y'all see him dating? Anyone who's seen the movie and probably knows what is I can't remember the name. And the name's not really that important. Anywho, trying to stay on track here with you all and go fast because I know, you know, we're stressed for time and stuff these days. So Zuckerberg, yeah, he played around. They basically made the movie like he was trying to start a dating site. And I'm sure it had something to do with what became, which Facebook is what I'm talking about. But I'm also sure that he had a little bit better intent than what you all are giving him credit for. And the government eventually has gotten their paws on it. And just like in the movie, see, they were planning probably before he even knew it. And I got a piece on pacing a little bit. Coffee. Probably before he even knew how they were really going to portray it, he agreed to the movie and really didn't care because it's a movie, you know. People shouldn't really put too much thought into them. And at least if they're going to look at the whole aspect of it, I think he took an Ivy League source of information where different Ivy League colleges that's the way it was going to start with the big badass like canoe guys or whatever, twins, you know. It was going to start where they only had other Ivy League colleges involved in this source of information, so to speak, this public media, so to speak, but except it was going to be private for the elite. 1 in 4 college students get a job, people. So basically, you're told, come to college, go in debt, da-da-da-da-da, and only 1 in 4 are going to get the job and the wage that they were told or portrayed that they were going to get for going and graduating. And I'm sure that Ivy League is the majority of them. And these other colleges, what they're doing is they're programming. They're teaching sheep shit. Basically, a lot of you know what I mean by that. And if you don't, hopefully you will. So, I'm getting a little excited because of how long I'm always on here, man. It sucks. So, anyway, Zuckerberg made this thing that was only going to be for Ivy League, rich, elite kids. Brought it down to the poor folk, to everybody now, especially now that the internet's at everyone's fingertips. And that's another thing. At the time, he didn't know. I don't think he could really perceive, because it wasn't at everyone's fingertips. Yeah, you might have been able to go home on your slow dial-up and get on it. But it wasn't at everyone's fingertips like Facebook is and the internet is now, period. So he made it, and they portrayed it like it was almost an accident. Like, no, it wasn't. He took something that was going to only be designed for the rich elite and brought it down to the poor folk, or the regular folk. And now you all are acting like he's the bad guy, and that's just the government. What the government done, pretty much, he didn't have time to prep and prepare himself for the money in which he was going to make. Because, yeah, I'm sure he started making some. Wouldn't you? Wouldn't everybody? And he probably had to make it more or less just to keep it free. He probably had to figure out things to keep it free. But I think he was kind of warning us, like, hey, you know, I got to put some advertisements on this bitch. And we didn't mind. So, and the government eventually was like, nah, fucking my advertisements, we got you. We're going on, just boop, boop, boop. And then they ended up tricking him, and leaked some information. Then they made him a bad guy in front of everybody. And when he really done everyone a favor. So if you want to keep docking Zuckerberg, I think you're wrong for it. And that's basically what I wanted to get at. And that's about it. I got some other things that, you know, like, basically he wasn't prepared for the power at which it had, and the government snatched it from his ass. But someone else had some power. They were prepared. They tried to snatch it from him. Couldn't. And now they even put him in another position. And basically what I want to get at here is probably where a lot of you is going to go off on your tangents and cuss me and everything else. But here's the deal. Back in 07, 08, around the election time, I might not be exact on those dates, it's been a few years, and I was in and out of Iraq instead of watching TV. That's when Obama won. When we didn't have internet at our fingertips, I think I had a Razr. It was about the best phone going at the time. And we all know that was slow internet, and you wasn't really going to find a whole lot of information on it at the time. So, basically, Obama ran against McCain, and I'm damn sure not saying that McCain was any better. Anyone who's been a prisoner of war has no business being a president. They need to go to the beach with their old lady and stay there and just chill. Because they got some shit, they've been through some shit, and they just don't really need to work anymore. They just need to chill out. Man, prisoner of war, dude, calm it down. You know, we'll take care of you. What's up? You know, they take care of people for a lot less. So, anywho, and I'm not saying Obama was a piece. Obama actually made it to where Google was not as monetized as Korea has monetized their internet. Probably didn't know that, but yeah, he started this Information Act or something of that nature. So I'm not trying to bop him or whatever, or dog him. I am trying to say this, though. While you all were watching TV, a lot of you, I was actually in Iraq hanging someone named Saddam, while most of you were back here voting for someone named Saddam Hussein. I was hanging, and Barack Hussein is who was running for the president. Now me, I'm going to scratch my head and just go, well, fuck that vote. Because that just seems a little bit too awkward and ironic and non-coincidental. Never had a president run before that had even had a Muslim name. Yet now, we got one. we got two Husseins. One of them's the enemy and one of them's running the fucking country. So that to me was a little bit quirky, and I don't know enough about it. I couldn't research it enough to determine my vote. But someone had to be president. So I'm not knocking people for really voting for him. I am knocking people for the way the reasons they voted for him, though, because they're not good enough, because they didn't give you any that were very good to begin with. But someone had to be it, and it might as well have been him. Now, Hillary and Trump. Basically, I think, from the time Trump inherited his daddy's money, the IRS and our big fucking badass government was trying to jack his shit. And unlike Zuckerberg, he was prepared by his father and his education, you see, to keep it from happening. So they probably went to him and said, hey, you want to try to run for president again? He'd already done it at a younger age, but no one really had any respect for him because of his age. So, basically, look there. That's nice. Basically, what had happened is they probably told him, or what I believe is they told him, hey, Trump, run for president, because we really don't have anyone that we think can compete with Hillary's popularity. Because Clinton wasn't just popular because he was a president. He got his dick sucked and shit, So he was a real popular president, and especially amongst the new voting crowd. Hillary was, and they probably was like, Trump, you're not going to get it, but we'll stop picking on you, and we'll stop trying to take your shit. Just run for us, man. You're not going to get it. And he probably didn't give a fuck whether he's going to get it or not. He's like, all right, guys, yeah. Well, they underestimated the power of the internet. See? The power of the internet. The ability to do research. So all you people that are hating on Trump and stuff, see, I don't think he planned on being president, but when he got it, he took off with it and he run with it. And he's doing shit that most likely needs to be done. Now, I could be wrong, but I know Mexicans. I know about the border and about the visa and all that shit a whole lot better than the most of you. And that's exactly what the Iraq and all that explaining was. It's me trying to explain to you that I'm speaking from experience. And I'm not saying Mexicans are bad people. I'm just saying it ain't right that Julio can drive down the street with no license and run a stop sign, but someone they know, because it's a fact. I know, I've talked with officers about it. We've all probably heard them talk about it at one point in time. And when they didn't have paperwork, trying to get them for paperwork. When they didn't have paperwork, trying to get them for a ticket included extra paperwork. And we all know no one wants to do a bunch of fucking paperwork. Like, that's so bland of a necessity that it's not. There's nothing glamorous about it. There's nothing entertaining. It's dulling. So police officers didn't pull over Julio, who run that three-way stop. That's some bullshit. But they'll pull over me or you because, bam, quick, fast, and in a hurry, I can go get me another ticket. So that's where it become unfair. And as far as this visa thing goes, you get a bunch of high school boys, fresh out of high school, tell them, hey, y'all can stay right here in this trailer. We're going to let you have it, man, once in a while. Go get you some food and stuff. You can party, you can drink right here. Have your little fires and stuff. And, you got the farm. Get you a four-wheeler if you want, whatever. Got plenty of places to put all your shit and everything. You do that for some high school boys, some white boys, some black boys, what the fuck ever, some Americans, and I guarantee you ain't going to hear that lazy nonsense ass shit. But you didn't see that. You never have. You've never seen 5, 6 white boys living in a trailer, having the time of their life, working their fucking asses off, getting in great shape for their future, and doing the tobacco thing or the harvesting of anything for like that easily. Where they're given a place to stay, they're given a place. Let me tell you something. I couldn't stay with my peoples. and go work in tobacco every day. Well, hell to the not. Try to go in the house dirty and shit. Get run right back out with a broom. I'd have to take a water hose bath. So what I do, I had to start staying with them. So if you stayed with 5, 6, 10, 15 visa workers and you know more about it than me, enlighten me. Otherwise, you don't know shit. And you don't need to be complimenting on things that I know from experience. I pretty much got a college fucking degree in this shit. And I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying they do need to be vetted. Just like Trump is. And I'm saying that he got this because people could do proper research. Because I was going to vote for Hillary. And a lot of y'all black folk on front, y'all know y'all voted for Trump. Because a black man's who convinced me to vote for Trump. So I don't even know what all that that shit's about. But anyways, get mad, cuss me, whatever. Even if you paid attention to all the video, I doubt you did. But yeah, basically, we are getting robbed by the system. And from what I can tell, he's fixing it. And that's why they're pissed off. Because it don't fit their agenda. Their evil, sick agenda. And he was already prepared enough to keep them from taking what his father left to him. So he's got enough power to keep them from fucking up him. Because any other president would have had, Kennedy had assigned security guards. Not him. He's got some of the same security guards he probably had when he was a fucking kid. You dig? And that's probably the only reason he ain't dead yet. So think, people. Wake up. And you sports, let's say LeBron and Cousins and Walls and all these superior athletic people were trained to do something like guard scientists that were trying to cure diabetes. Then they wouldn't be picked off so easy if these men were raised to do such a genuine thing. But no, what are they raised to do? The same thing you're raising your kids to do. Play ball. Because a ball is really going to fucking save our ass, ain't it? Yeah, that's really going to fucking help. Watching someone throw a ball around. Yeah, that's really going to help. Let's shoot each other over some fucking J's. See, and that's what y'all are doing with y'all's kids. Some of y'all's kids could grow up and cure diabetes, make an invention, but you're balling them to fucking death. You're sporting them, you're competing them to death. We're all in here together. There's a reason we're all going to leave with the same shit. I promise you. Guarantee it.